Shalom. First and foremost, all praise and glory is unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Harachach, Wadash. Double honor to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, elect out there. Shalom unto you, your brothers required with a video. Timing on this, I'm not sure. I'm just going to flow in the spirit. I have a few precepts lined up and a few videos lined up. So bear with me, Lord willing, it's edifying. Okay, I'll try to keep it as concise as possible, but it is a topic that warrants some attention. All right, you may be seeing videos of, basically an ambush, if you will, of a brother, on the West Coast, and it's an effed up situation. But as brothers have said, the elder brothers in that, have spoken on it, have made clear, hey, this is the times we're living in. Okay, you got to be circumspect. Okay, and circumspect generally means to look around. Means to look around, and spect is to see or look around, right? But when you see, you still got to have comprehension on what you're seeing. All right, so I do have this page up here that I check out, and from time to time, just to keep the gravity of life, in my house, is mainly for me. If my older son is around, I let him watch just to keep people aware. But, maybe some of this will stick. Most of it probably won't with the women or whatever and the kids and all of that. But the point being that when you see certain things, which I'm going to show a couple videos, but when you see certain things, you got to understand that we're not in a time of games. We're not in a time of playing. All right? This is a serious situation that we're living in. Okay? And pun intended, but, inside joke. We behind enemy lines, dog. For y'all that know that line from the movie. All right? I just watched the brother's videos, like I said, inside joke. But the point being, the message received loud and clear. And this is something we continually have to keep on our minds. Being here in Vegas, when we were a smaller camp, much smaller, we've had our encounters and everything. And this is what it is. We've had our encounters here, and we've done what we've done. We've handled it the way we handled it. But that's something we keep as how should I say, as a point of importance. When street teaching, just in your daily life. Okay, to always, I grew up in, most Jakes, you grew up in situations, certain neighborhoods, certain cities where you gotta be on guard. All right, and so I'm gonna play this Humilitas first, and I would even exhort you to watch the page, man, to subscribe and check it out, because there's a lot of tactical things going on. And twofold, this page is good because you see how criminals act, but then you see the mind of security tactical personnel response to these things. And so you see both sides of it, and he narrates through. I'm gonna show one. So fair use, maybe two. Fair use. Then I'll get into more details. I'm not showing the brother's video. I'm not gonna get into that particularly, but brothers know here in Vegas know when brothers cross over, and and then there's even an exercise that I like to keep lighthearted, because I want brothers to focus when they're on the other side before they come in. When you stand on the sidewalk, keep it clear, keep it, and to make sure that you're giving the people an inviting space to walk through, not to have the cops called on us for little or no reason. Okay? But it's also an exercise in being circumspect and seeing who's coming. Okay, you're not just looking to see that it's a woman and 4 kids coming down the street, so you want to make a wide enough space. Not only that, but you want to see if it's a demon coming down the street. And as you grow in the spirit, you'll notice who and who not to. You'll see, okay, it's a couple of drunk guys, as you'll kind of be more aware. Okay? So these things are always in practice for us, okay? This is something you got to understand what you're involved in. Okay, you gotta, and the apostles and elders have always told us these things. You gotta understand what you're involved in. This is an act of treason and war against the elite. Okay, they're not happy, and then on low level, we're basically trying to take the birthright back from E. Okay, so what happened the last time? And I didn't even mean for this to go this way, but what happened the last time when we supplanted him for the birthright? All right, so let me get into that right quick. This is gonna be a big point in this video, Ephesians 5. So I'm gonna read it now, and it's gonna continue to come around, but I'm gonna get a word in this in that chapter. But let me line up this other precept real quick. All right, that's lined up. So Ephesians 5, and let me go back a little bit. Over here, let me go back. 15 is the main point, right? So Ephesians 5 and 15, it says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." Okay? Lawlessness is going to be at an all-time high. You know, it gets into this, and it's going to show you how society is going to collapse, and you're going to be, because we're on the bottom of society, we're going to be the first attacked. And you can go into many different accounts and see that this is how it happened, man. Particularly the Maccabees. When you go into the first Maccabees, the first chapter, it showed you that they just went out and attacked Jake. You go into the history, what happened after the time of Yahushua, you'll see that Jake was attacked. You see, going into the time of Yahushua, Jake was attacked. You see that the heathen always want to find a reason. You go into all these different captivities, the Persians and the Medes, the Assyrians. It's just always something, Babylonians especially. Okay, so we all the captivities, Jake is always on the forefront of being attacked. Okay, and how much more now over here in the Americas? Okay, under this circle, especially at the end where their frustration is mounting. All right, I'm gonna come back to that chapter in Ephesians 5. I'm gonna leave it up in the blue letter, but let me get this in Genesis to hit this point. So if we IQAB'd him when he had to give up the birthright because it was prophecy and he didn't want to believe that, but it was prophecy that we got the birthright, how much more is this man gonna be angry and frustrated that he has to give it up now when he's in power? This is when he was just supposed to get it, and we were all brothers and equal men. How much more now that he's in power and he knows he's not going to get it back? He knows he's been revealed in this time. Okay, when he has a God-like complex now. He has his technology and his science behind him. Okay, Genesis 27, and I'll start up at 38. It says, "And Esau said unto his father," speaking to Isaac, right? "Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father." And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And as I see, and if you watch somebody lose something or have something taken from them, or they get tricked out of something and they cry about it, a lot of times that cry is more of a frustration of anger cry, especially to a wild man that blessing is the sword. That's a man of the field, that he's a wild man like that. Okay? It says that Isaac answered and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, "Behold," gave him a blessing, "behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live." And because this man understands the mission here, what does he do? He has sharpened and perfected his sword. The scripture says, "Sword is swap." Let me get it. This is Ezekiel 21:9. "Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contendeth thy rod of my son as every tree." Okay, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. The sword is sharpened and is furbished, so give it into the hand of the slayer. Okay, and when you really understand the many levels of this, ultimately is the missiles given into the hand of E, but it's also E himself and all his weaponry, whether it be it be his JABs, whether it be his chemical warfare, whether it be his gun, okay, whether it be his laws, okay. So many levels of this, whether it be his witchcraft, so many levels of this play in today's time. And this man has furbished his sword that Isaac blessed him with way back in Genesis to a razor's edge. Okay, and who is the one that he wants to slay with it? The children of God, man, his twin brother. Okay, you Jacob, the sons of Jacob, the 12 patriarchs, the children of the 12 patriarchs, okay? The 12 tribes of Israel, okay? This is who he wants to slay, okay? You got to see it on all these levels, okay? Now I'm not asking you to see something above your understanding, but in the context of this video, you got to understand this man has these toys sharpened, harp weapons and different other things that he's going to use in these last days to continue to orchestrated famines, all kinds of things that he's going to use, natural disasters with the harp, and the Most High is with this because our people do need to be punished. Okay, I mean, I'm mentally jumping ahead. I got a few precepts, but just want to make sure that this is understood, that blessing he got, this man made it sharp as a razor's edge, and he's coming after Jake. Okay, he gonna hit a lot of the 2/3, but he's even gonna get his hands on some of the elect. Okay, and I'm gonna get into that as we go along in this lesson. So Lord willing, the Spirit stay with me to stay on key. Now let me go back to Genesis. I'm in verse 40. It says, "And by thy sword shalt thou live, and serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke off thy neck." You're gonna get above him. Even though you're supposed to be in captive to Jacob because he's bigger, faster, stronger in so many, more ways, and supposed to be your ruler. Hey, you're gonna break the yoke and you're gonna have the advantage for a time. And this is that time. We're at the end of that time. Okay? And so what did Esau say? So he said Esau hated Jacob. He hates the children of Israel, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. And he hates everybody, but he hates us with the most intense force of everything. Okay? Because up above, he cried about, oh, he tricked me out of my birthright, and now he's stolen my blessing even, and so on and so forth, and frustrated and angry. Not understanding, not being spiritual to understand prophecy, right? It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. We got the kingdom of heaven to come. And Esau said in his heart, in his mind, deep within him, "The days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob." Oh, yep, I didn't even pause. Ezekiel 35, right? It's talking about Mount Seir. It's a people before his place whose land is called after Mount Seir. Esau, right? So it's talking about that. Jump down to verse 5, where it says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and thou hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword," okay, "in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, the Lord power Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee." Okay, but he's going to show how much he has not hated blood in this time to come. Okay? He's going to prove how he's the man of sin being revealed. He's the son of perdition. He's the children of the wicked. Okay? He's the evil twin brother. Okay? He's the man, the prince with the twin brother, the man in the iron mask. Okay, when you get all these references and you see every good and evil story, this is him. He was always the villain. Okay, we're the underdog in this thing. Okay, but you got to see it spiritually what the Heavenly Father has for us. That wrote his movie out. We win in the end, as most good guys do. He's not the good guy. All right. One more before I get back on track with the lesson. All right, got to get this one. Revelation 12 and 12 Therefore, I grab this one before I grab the other. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. Okay, and when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. Okay, and what's the woman that brought forth the man child? It's the Israelites, and the man child is Yahushua, because Yahushua is a child of Israel coming out of the tribe of Judah. Okay, and we're likened unto a woman as a nation. Okay, so when you see it, this is where it's at. Okay, now when you jump to verse 17, it hits the point that I'm making here. 17, and the dragon was wroth. What's the dragon? Okay, dragon is this EU NATO nations, that's ran by the ancient Roman Empire reincarnate, that's ran by the Edomites. Okay, and America's the whore that rides the dragon. Okay, but this is still working together as the Edomite nations. Okay, still rising up against Jake. Still rising up against the children of Israel, against the woman. Okay, regardless who they fake and claim to be. Okay, this is really still who it is. Okay, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, and I have a lot of. I had a few lessons that I was gonna try to put together, and I was gonna piece them together, but instead I'm gonna just put them all together, just different articles and stuff I'm gonna pull together and tie it all into this thing. Okay, it says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High. That's talking about the elect. They're coming for the elect as well, and have the testimony of Yahushua Mashiach. So this is what it is. They're coming. That's the other one I was thinking. This is what it is. They're coming. All right, they're coming for us. So I'll grab while I'm speaking. They're not playing games. They're coming for us. Okay. Because this is, and through prophecy, we should understand that this has to come to pass. All right, Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account to his labors. Now, if we're standing boldly in the face of the righteous man, as a righteous man standing in the face of boldness, as righteous men, we stand in the face of our enemies with great boldness, calling him out. Okay? Face of such as have afflicted him, that afflicted us, and calling him out and revealing him. What do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to be all rainbows and, okay, well, I guess you're right. Well, you broke it down right, so I guess we better just give you back the kingdom of heaven and you're the real children. That's not going to happen. This man's going to fight tooth and nail to accomplish his NWO, which he truly believes if he accomplishes this thing, he gets the birthright back in it. Okay? So many precepts coming to mind. I'm going to get this one in Daniel as well real quick. Daniel 12. You've got to understand the time that we're living in. Daniel 12:1. And at that time Michael shall stand up, shall Michael stand up, that the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, because we're gonna catch it bad, man. Okay? We talk about Jacob's trouble, and a lot of you groups out there not warning our people about Jacob's trouble. Just being an Israelite, just being a so-called Negro Latino, and when I pull these videos up, you're going to see we're the ones that got this as an issue, man. This is going to be an issue for us. We're not up even in gated communities, it's still going to be a problem. This is always going to be a problem for you so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans. Okay, this is just going to be a problem in the earth that we have to withstand and go through. Okay? We're standing for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. This will be the very worst time ever in history. Evil shall multiply. Death will be around the corner, as Tupac said, okay? Everywhere. I've had dreams about these events, okay? I had one last year, and I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring the drawing up about it, because that's what the energy of it was. Okay, and I had one this year as well, but the one last year, I think I did testimonial videos on it, but the one last year was the one that I really want to pinpoint on. Okay, even to the same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered. So if this is the time of the delivery, this is the time that we gotta deal with. This is when the worst time ever has to come, and we're at the doorstep of it. It's already beginning with the whole climate. And I'm going to use the word climate, meaning the way the earth is right now. How Trump has brought, and just the energy in the earth is bringing down that middle class, a police force. They're bringing down to the top of the lower class now, to where it's just not enough for them. So they're on edge and they're frustrated and they're concerned. And a lot of them are cops that and Edomites that really are on edge. Then they're bringing the Jake that's right there, and they're trying to scratch and fight in poverty to earn to make a dollar and to be able to survive. And so that looks like crime to them. Okay, this new bill that Trump just signed to unleash the police and give them I'm going to grab that in a second, is all part of the dynamic of rousing up Jacob, but bringing this race war to a head. Okay? And these things have to come to pass. We've been here at Great Millstone, the affiliates, we've been talking about these things. We've been warning you about these things. Where are the other groups warning you about these times? We have Nate here saying, oh, we got maybe 20, 30 years. What's going on in Israel right now, we got maybe 20, 30 years. Shut the hell up, man. This shit's around the corner. I don't know what you're concerned about 20 or 30 years ago or from now, but there's things that are happening today, tomorrow, next week that's on the earth right now. Instead of taking that opportunity to say, well, we need to be prepared now, every day, because you step out your house and anything can go down. Natural disasters could pop off. It just shows you how close we are to prophecy coming to pass. If you're settled on your leads and you're just sitting back and just chilling, jet setting and whatnot, you're not going to be prepared. But that's not what he's done. He's continued to lull you people to sleep. And if you follow him, you deserve everything you get. Okay, this is why we put up curses on guys like that. False prophets, man. Okay? Anyway, let me get another precept. Matter of fact, that's enough precepts. Let me get into the lesson. So I'm back here in humilitas. Fair use, fair use, fair use. This is not for monetary gain or value. This is simply for entertainment and educational purposes. Now, it can be entertainment if you want to, but truly it's for educational purposes, all right? And I'm just going to show a couple shorts. And there's one of them that I really enjoyed, but when you watch it, it was really good. Let's see if I can get this one. Matter of fact.
Times, situational awareness, it's not going to be enough. News story.
Okay. If you missed the first part, it said there are times when situational awareness is not going to be enough. Okay. So what do we have? We have prophecy. We have the ability to see things develop, to understand things. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to grab it, but when it talks about wisdom will meet you, he that uses from Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. When you use wisdom, it'll guide you in certain situations. The Spirit will tell you, now don't choose that gas station. Don't go there now. Let's not do that. Something will happen. The Spirit will intervene. Okay, but you got to be paying attention and listening. All right, now I'm going to let this play so you can see the situation. Now, myself, a gas station this busy, I won't be there. There's certain gas stations I just don't go to in the city. I will damn near run out of gas and be on fumes to get to a gas station that I trust, that I know, and I've watched the energy, and I've driven past, and I know how they get down over there. Okay, versus going to any old gas, pulling in, and then, nah, man. There's a gas station across the street from where I work, and I continually don't even go. I don't like how the entrances are. I don't like where it's sitting on the corner for traffic. I don't like how I gotta get to it. The turn lanes is just a bad corner for me. The energy's bad. Niggas pull in real quick, pull up on the door, hop out with the car running. The doors be open sometimes. Running in, getting blunts, and it's just a bad energy spot. Across the street is another 7-Eleven that has gas pumps too. I'm just not doing it. I don't get down like that. No matter what the time of night, I just don't frequent over there. I'll drive way across, that ain't way across town, but I'll drive out the way to get to a gas station that I understand and I approve, that ain't got a gas, that don't have a really rowdy and busy bus stop in front of it, and do my thing, or pick the certain time of the day where it's calm. There's another one that's not too far from the house that I don't like the price over there, but hey, certain times when it's an emergency, I'll hit that one because it's in a cut, and nobody's really paying attention to that one. Okay, cars driving by on the street can't just see you and make a play on you, because this is how this situation seemed to have played out. But these are the types of situations you got to be aware of. Okay, you can't be like even at the house. If I know if my woman's in my car and she's driving, and I know that I got about a quarter tank of gas and she got to do a little bit of driving and do some things around town, hey, I don't want you going out to get gas at night. No, I'll go get it. And if you need it, hey, wait till the morning. And don't go to this one gas station. Let's go to get something. And it's got to be another situation that plays out so they don't get caught in this. You may be like, well, she's just a girl. None of that shit matters, man. Because we can't forget a few months ago, what were they talking about? Trafficking, okay? Picking up women trafficking, all right? Out there, the children in the car, man, all kind of evils in the earth, man. Evil shall continue to grow. So you got to be situationally and tactically better aware and use wisdom at all times. All right, so let's watch.
It's revealed that our victim here, he spent a few years in and out of prison. Watch his head and you'll see that he looks directly at the approaching vehicle with the KILLERS. Okay. Because this is a YouTube short, there is no way I can show you the actual violence.
Look,
I'll put a link in the comments to my phone.
Block the entrance, boom, bam, boom, and it's a wrap. Okay? Now you can go to the page and watch that. I got another one. And to me, this one is even spookier. Now, I saw the long version of this, and I watch forensic files and shit like that, especially just for a 30-minute while the house is kind of moving. If we about to watch a movie, everybody's getting settled, we're going to sit down and watch a live show or something. I'll throw something in between just to kind of keep the energy going. If we want to watch a movie or something, and hang out or whatever we're doing, I'll throw something on. But sometimes I'll throw these on, and these will get the minds moving, and especially if we're going to watch an action movie or whatever. So I keep them thinking in a tactical sense. Okay, now watch this one. I've never seen the short. I've seen the long version, but let's see what happens.
A carload of heavily armed men targeted a Florida residence for a home invasion, and they set it up like an ambush-style attack. Here's how they did it. The driver drops one of the bad guys off a block early, and he moves between the houses, taking up an ambush position directly across the street from the target house. He maintains his position, acting as kind of bad guy overwatch. The vehicle then proceeds just past the target house where it stops offset. The driver stays with the car. Two more bad guys exit the vehicle and approach the front. One of the bad guys throws a brick at the door, and then they both quickly move around the blind corner of the residence to lay in wait for the homeowner to come out and investigate. What stops this is the sheriff's aviation unit lighting up this bad guy with white light, causing them to flee. I'll pin a link in the comments to Humilitas' first full breakdown of this incident, where I'll offer some solutions to this potentially violent and dangerous problem. A carload of heavily armed men.
And he breaks down in the longer version of the video, where he would think to come out, how he would deal with it, what he would do. Okay? So you get the full scope of the bad guy angle, how the tactical angle, you get the whole nine. Okay, you see all sides of it, and then you can use wisdom to move accordingly. But this is the things that as men we have to be thinking about, especially being warned of the prophecy. The scripture in Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, said, give them warning from me. Well, we have to warn you about the things that's coming. Thus saith the Lord God. Okay, these times are coming. All right? You go to the 2nd Ezra, and I didn't pull this one, but there's so many other ones. 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, there should be invading one. Matter of fact, I am going to get it. Bear with me. 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Everybody on earth, reminding you what it said in Revelation, the 12th chapter, right? For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. The killing instrument, the sword is furbished. Okay, the demonic mindset, okay, the witchcraft that's over the earth of this evil time that don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai on it is gonna wreak havoc in the earth and try the faith of the elect, okay, and punish the wicked. All right, all the way around. It says, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. There shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. What do you think that means? This is going to be happening. You watch that Humilitas first video enough, channel enough, and you'll start seeing these situations. Now, I'm not telling you to be out there with a tactical vest and go get an armory, and that's not what I'm saying. But a lot of times, just putting yourself in proper, wise positions will quell a lot of this. But eventually, it's going to come to your doorstep. Okay? Eventually, it's going to come to your doorstep. I have people in the South that I know, and brothers that's in the South that have been in hurricane situations and tornadoes and so on and so forth. You know how these tropical storms and stuff hit, and then the house will be all out of power. People will go through and raid the and pillage the neighborhood. Okay? And if you're on the inside with power because you have a generator, hey, you make yourself a target house. Okay? Hey, this is how this works. The police is checking on their own shit if the situation's bad enough. They ain't worried. They ain't got time to hit the patrol and go make sure people are all right. It's flooded outside. Okay? So these are situations that you got to be aware of and set yourself up because you've been warned against the time that's evil to come. Okay? And that's why this Ephesians is going to stay in circulation, so to speak. Okay? Verse 17, a man shall be, says, 16 still says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. Your position or authority ain't going to mean nothing. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's talking about martial law even. Okay? So it's going to be more in people's mind. I can't get past the National Guard to get to the store, and I don't have money or the C-hip anyway, so what am I going to do? Well, I might as well go in this neighbor's house where I see them driving back and unloading their groceries time and time again. Hey, we over here starving. I got my ribs. I got to get it. Survival. I'm in survival mode. Okay? This is coming. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled and houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. And home invasion type shit, man. Okay? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. This is what's coming to the earth. And being men of the Lord and true believers, that even of the elect, it does not exempt us from going through these situations. As I mentioned earlier, and the scripture will tell you as I get to it, even the elect will get caught up in this and not make it through. Some of the elect won't make it through. Okay? We don't know who that is and who that not is. Okay? So we all have to treat it like we have to prepare for it. We can't be all in lollygag mode, not paying attention to what's going on, thinking, oh, I'm of the elect, I'm going to be straight. Nah, man. Nah. Even if you're doing everything that's required of you as far as the ministry goes, to be aware of the time and doing your videos and reading and studying and praying and doing all these things, hey, at some point you're still going to have to deal with the physicality of the things that are coming. Okay? And really, in the flesh, you're going to have to use wisdom and be spiritual enough to call on Yahweh Hashem Yahshua as an automatic response. Okay? And then move in the spirit tactically. We do believe and trust in the scripture, in the spirit of the word saying, the Most High shall teach my hands to war and so on and so forth. All right? But I wouldn't leave it for that. I'd keep my mind on that. Even if your hands are brittle or whatever the case may be, hey, that don't mean your mind can't be sharp. That don't mean you shouldn't be agile or trying to get yourself in the best shape, trying to tidy up the temple. Okay, and that's a code for get your body in health. Brothers is on it, man. Getting these health remedies, exercising, doing the best they can to get into some physical type shape. Okay, I'm a brother with ailments and so on and so forth, but hey, we all got to try to do our very best. And if I want to be able to protect my family and not just try to come back through the loins of the elect or rise first, I want to be down here helping, Lord willing. I'm prepared for whatever the spirit is, but if that's my spirit where I have to be down here to prepare, I want to be in the best suitable situation that I could put myself in as a believer. All right? Now, let's move on to a couple other precepts.
A police raid in full assault gear. They barge in with shields up and guns drawn.
Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Is it a drug raid? A hunt for a dangerous fugitive? Nope, they're looking for a 2-year-old boy with a fever. We are not kidding. The heavy hand.
Now, I'm not going to go deeper, but I just want to give you the imagery of kicking in the door for any excuse, for no excuse. Okay? Because the people, and you get into this story, you start seeing it, but the difference is when they kick that door in, man, you got to be ready. And I don't mean I grab my guns and I'm shooting in the blaze of glory. No, that ain't what I'm talking about. Okay? What I am talking about is understanding and be able to do the right thing. Sometimes you're going to have to agree with that adversary quickly, whether I be in the way. Okay? Other times you may have to, not be there or have a plan or whatever the case may be. Or sometimes you just got to go quietly. Okay? But you got to be in the spirit when it's time to be in the spirit. Okay? Which I just want to show you somebody kicking the door in, whether they got tactical gear or whatever, or whether they're ambushing you or whatever the case may be, like the previous Humilitas video. Okay? Watch this one. Let's get it right. Come on. Peep. Okay? I'm going to try to see this. Because it got the scary music and shit. Turn that off. But look at this. Okay? Look at this. You don't know who's who or what's what. This is what's going on nowadays. All right? You know that the titties had no nipples? This is what's going on nowadays. She's talking and everything all regular. And that's the actress, right? So we believe. Look at this. You don't know who's who or what's what. You don't know. All right? You have to understand that this is the time that we're living in. Okay? You got to be circumspect. You got to watch how people move. And I'm telling you, a good heads up, if you're not really streetwise, and even if you are, to watch that Humilitas page, man. He gives you the whole bit when you see he shows you the body language and the arm movements when somebody's going for a draw, when they're drawing their weapon. Okay? He shows you the whole nine, the little bit L in it and all of that when the arm, the whole nine. The reach, the turn, the turn, and then, they wait and they don't take your eye. There's all types of little situations that they show you. And he show you from all over the world, all different styles of how this goes down. Okay? This is the time that all this shit people running around in masks. You got to be watching people's eyes. I teach my kids to look at the people's eyes, man, to see where their eyes are focusing, to see where their energy's at, to see what direction their energy, because they can't always hide that. But as you saw, or if you've seen the brothers' videos, the elders' videos on the brothers', situation, hey, what happened? I know a chick that looked like this. I used to work with a chick that looked like this. Okay? What did they say in the brother's video? He just ran up. We're going to get the testimony when the brother does his version of it, when he's in the spirit, and feeling well enough to do it. But hey, he just ran up with no question and just, you know what it is, and let's get it. But you can't be, but what's going on? Wait, why? Why are you doing this? And you're just kind of just, nah, fight, flight, or freeze. Okay? It's one of the two. If he'd have froze, he may not be here. The testimonial videos that the brothers, the videos that the brothers doing may be something different. Okay? So we can't, man, getting your mind tuned into these things because we have the warning of what's to come. We got to be ready. And I'm not saying just get out there and start trying to get your 3rd degree black belt and try to go be at the gun range and just trying to, get your sniper mode on. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to be wise and take that as you will. Whatever you feel the spirit is on you to be wise in these times to come, we got to be that. Okay? If you have the means and the spirit is on you, it may be for a good reason that you are doing the things and preparing the ways that you are. Okay? But what I'm going to say is don't get caught out there to where you're unprepared. Okay? We have the prophecy. We have the heads up. Let's not be unprepared when these things hit. We know they're coming. Okay? So let me get some precepts. Read it again. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Right? And what does it say in the NLT? It says, so be careful how you live. Don't live like fools. Just be lollygagging, gas in my car, I'm putting $65 worth of gas in the car, taking cash into the store, and got my cards out and my back to the street, and just not paying attention to anything. Who's pulling up in the stall next to you? You should be analyzing and scanning everything. Okay, this should just be something that you naturally do. You're a watchman. That means you got to watch everything. Okay? It says, don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. Make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. What? While you have this grace before the time is up. Make the most of this time. Get your mind right. All right, it said, don't act thoughtlessly, but understand what the Lord wants you to do. The KJV says, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord Yahweh is. We've been warned of this evil time. Be prepared to withstand and live through it. Okay? It says in KJV, and be not drunk with wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit, right? It says, don't be drunk with wine because that will ruin your life. Instead, be filled with the Holy Spirit. Now, let's get into this drunk. Okay? Because this can go bad if brothers aren't on point. All right? And this is what I had. I want to get that word drunk. Be not drunk. Mathisco. Something like that. Okay, Mathisco. It says, form, I'll get into that in a second. To intoxicate, make drunk. Hey, and you can be drunk, living your best life and just unwise and not being circumspect. That's a way, but you can also be drunk in righteousness. Oh, the Lord got me. I'm doing what I'm living a righteous life. I don't have to be prepared. The Lord will do this and that. Hey, you got to be present in this thing, man. You got to be present in it and be tuned in to the Spirit to where you're aware of all things. Okay? This is how we're supposed to be moving. You got to be aware of all things at all moments. Tuned and locked in. All right? Because the stakes are high, man. You love your family? Well, they were given to you as men. Our families were given to us as a responsibility for us to take care of, even in these days. What do we got to do? We got to be aware. We got to be there. Quick something. I hate going to the grocery store. But I can't send my woman into the grocery store alone. My women and my children into the grocery store by themselves. That ain't going to deter nobody from thinking, oh, easy target, a woman with a child, blah, blah, blah. Let me just go on and get the groceries that they got. Nice, easy. Pull up. I ain't got nothing. Let me go on up and get that off them. And I don't care what time of day it is. Okay? It doesn't, man, don't let the false sense of security fool you out here. Okay? Don't let it fool you. All right? Be locked in. Be circumspect. Be in the moment. Understand what's going on. Feel the energies around you, man. We have this in us now. Some brothers have gifts that are tapped in. Not everybody may have the gift to discern spirits and all, and so on and so forth. To interpret situations like that. But hey, recognize it, and if it's something just ain't rubbing you right, man, get up out of there. You know how many times I pull up to the gas station, and I pull up and somebody's standing on the corner or whatever at another pump, and I just don't feel right. I go to the pump that makes me most comfortable. Before I get out, I'm riding out. This ain't the one. I know I need gas, but let me do something else. If I go to that far pump across the street at this other gas station, it'll take them time to get over there to me, and I'll have enough gas just to get in there and get out. And man, there's all types of shit that go on. Not to be on some some storytelling as much. But hey, a friend of mine is a female, and our kids played. They went to the same elementary school, whatever, and the kids was playing, and she called me running out of gas, and I pull up, man, she's about to get kidnapped. This was some years ago now. My children were still young, but hey, I pulled up. I saw the situation. I saw them pull up. I saw the whole thing lined out, play out in front of me in like a cadence. And I was like, oh, hell no. Here, I shook the car. I put like $2 in her gas tank just to get her moving. And then I had to shake the car. You hop in with your baby in there and start your car. Because she was there maybe 10 minutes till I got there. To come, because the kid's supposed to play or whatever. I went and got there 10 minutes, shook the car to the carburetor or whatever, to the car, the engine got gas to it. Okay, she kind of said, don't go to this first gas station, go across the street where you're gonna buy yourself some time going to this difficult one. But when you leave out, do not leave out this exit because it's gonna send you down into the trap. Go down this other one. It's gonna be harder to get out, but get into that one, get into the far lane, make the U-E, and go west and don't look back. I'll make my way down there. I'll be down there. Don't trip. She understood the mission and got up out of there. Okay? This is just so you understand how serious these situations are. How these life events really take place and how they'll happen right before your eyes. You gotta be locked in to understand and see. Okay? There's a lot of people that are down on their luck. Man crossing the parking lot right now, coming out the gas station. I don't know where he's coming or going from, but you got to realize these people are tapped into to sin, which makes them conduits for evil. Okay? They on drugs, they on alcohol and the wrong spirit. They watch and believe in the wrong things, and they just become conduits. And I always like to bring up the movie Fallen with Denzel Washington. Okay, where the spirit that was on the evil guy just could pass from wicked person to wicked person. This is how the energies move. Okay? Could hop on just like the Matrix. Anybody that's not unplugged is potentially a Smith. Okay? You got to understand, a demon can hop on these people and try to take you out, man. Coming into the truth, that was one of my first lessons. A cop came across the street and just tried to crash me, and when I survived it somehow, and I heard live or die, and I'm not trying to get all deep into it, but hey, after I was giving my testimony or writing a report with the cop, the other cop was stuck there, just standing there like a fucking killer, like in a horror film, just standing there. I was like, hey man, what is he doing, standing there like that? He trying to intimidate me, man. Get him out of here. They're like, hey, what are you doing? The guy that hit me. Now, I realized later, as me and the brother started breaking down what actually happened in the situation, hey, that man had demons on him. Didn't want me to wake up and come into the truth. Okay, this is what's going on. And as this great awakening happens in these last days, more and more on the left-hand side have to balance this thing out. Okay? And believe me, it's a lot more of them than it is of the elect. The elect is a remnant, a small number. Okay? Let me get some more precepts. Like, I made this reference before. Revelation 20:4. It says, and I saw thrones and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. Now, when you understand this, that means they saw it after death. Okay, whether it was pain or not, they went to the spirit world first. They went to sleep for a split second. Okay, and we know the dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. We understand that, but at the end of the day, this is still a lot that some of the elect have to fulfill. Okay, let's go to the second chapter. Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, because we got to suffer through this thing, right? It said, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. So we're going to get apprehended. They're going to come kick the door in. Where's your V card? Where's your this? Where's your that? Hey, we know you've seen your IP addresses. They're not even gonna explain. They're just gonna come in when no one's prepared, when you're in your drawers, 4 a.m, your kids asleep, and discombobulate you. I've seen videos like this, man, where Jake was in there discombobulating in his sleep. A cop comes in, wakes him up. I think they were in the wrong house even. Wakes him up. He was drunk. Wakes him up and ends up shooting a guy. I don't remember if they killed him or not, but I think so. But shoots the guy, and the guy's like, hey, don't reach for nothing. Don't reach for nothing. I'm asleep. Someone's in my house. You see? So these things are coming. These things are gonna be happening. All right, so that Noah drunk spirit is out. We can't be in that Noah drunk spirit where we're completely unaware, and that's twofold. Literally drinking that much and literally not unaware and being in the spirit, drunk off life. Drunk off being a happy wife, happy life, being a family man, being locked into the world, too stressed on the things in this world and not locked into the spirit and rejoicing in the spirit to be present in the moment. Okay? So that ye may be tried and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death. Some are going to have to see death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Okay, some of us is going to get cast into prison and get out. Some of us will be cast into prison and put to death. Let's go to Second Esdras. Straight to the point, verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Let me show you something. All right, look at this. Trump will deport this was a few months ago, right? It says Trump will deport everyone who is against Jewish supremacy in the U.S. Jewish supremacy in the U.S. What is our message? It's not of Jewish supremacy. Okay? Trump set to sign order instructing federal agencies to combat anti-Semitism. Who do you think this is for? Who do you think this is for? Okay? Anybody that's opposing their image of the beast that they're setting up, okay? And it's not that it's being set up, it's set up. They know what it is, and we know what it is. I hope you brothers are truly understanding what you're involved in. If you're going to fall out, go on and get out of here, man. We don't want you. Seen brother do a video. It's a revolving door here. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is for people that are active in the ministry that's got things, that they got their head on straight, that's understanding what we're involved in. Okay? That this is the time that's preparing men to that may be new in the faith to hey mature up quick, because this is what's coming. See this? Don't take it in a completely carnal way, but be spiritual when you address it in a carnal way. Okay? This thing still has to be real. It still has to play out in the flesh. The victory is already set in the spirit, but we still got to outlive it in the flesh. Yeah, the persecution still has to come in the flesh. We see it happening in the spirit, but it still has to come in the flesh. And we still have to be and react in the flesh spiritually. Okay? In the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Ashai, okay? So which may include deporting anti-Jewish activists. What do you think we're considered when you go to the Southern Poverty Law Center and you look at their website? What do you think you see on there? They got every camp laid out. They got names, organization. They got the whole thing laid out. Okay? And if no, I'm not in a camp. It don't matter if you're in a camp or not. Now you don't have anybody to correct you, to guide you. You don't have a system of order, a chain of command, to where those that are higher in the spirit can guide. Those with more experience have their role, and so on and so forth. Okay? This thing is set up in the spirit that the ministry can all be on the same level, that the body works at 100%. Okay? What else we got on here? I think I did a video on this a while back. Trump signed, past tense, the executive order that individuals who are on public housing go 2 years, got 2 years, effective 2026. You have to figure your life out, because public housing isn't something you're supposed to be on all your life. It is only to get you on your feet. Absolutely true and absolutely right. But what do you think is going to happen to people that haven't been trained, that don't have the resources, and so on and so forth? It's going to push these people to crime. And now that you're pushing people to crime because the economy's collapsing. The money's inflating. Okay, it's about to hyperinflate, but then you got with tariffs and so on and so forth going on. But then you turn around and you giving law enforcement their squeeze because they don't make a lot of money either. Okay, and so you got them next to the criminals, living next to the criminal element because they can't afford more. But then they got a resentment and they're frustrated and they're mad and the energy and so witchcraft and so on and so forth. What do you think is going to happen? It's like a bunch of chemicals, volatile chemicals put together, and then when the bottles, the temperature rise up and the bottles burst and melt and whatever else, and then the chemicals mix, it's gonna blow. This is what we're walking into. This is where we're living. Okay? With this ambush, because you have a nice car, whether you have an alarm on it or not, they may see you carrying in groceries. They may be ambushing your house for groceries. Not even for jewelry or possessions or whatever else. You watch these videos and these Ring cameras, neighborhood apps, and all of that stuff, and you start to see, man, that people are coming up trying to tap into your key fob. Man, it's all kind of crazy shit going on. It ain't just people repossessing, but that's a thing in itself too. Okay, people are on edge, man. This world is turning into something real evil. And we have the heads up to be prepared for it. Starting foremost spiritually, but we also have to follow through in the flesh with this thing. Okay? And this is what the new executive order, strengthening and unleashing America's law enforcement to pursue criminals and protect innocent citizens. Well, who deems who's a criminal and who's a innocent citizen? Where's the line drawn on that? How do you know? Okay? Well, if it were me, guess who I would make the innocent citizens? Me and people like me and my circle of people. And who would be the criminals? Those that oppose what I'm about. Okay? Easy to understand. All right? One more. This was the dream I had right here last year. Okay? And it was about this situation. Now, this was just a quick sketch to try to illustrate so I could remember the dream, because it was big. And I don't remember all my dreams, but some of them that are prophetic, I do. Okay, and this was one of them. People were all over, climbing walls in people's yards, homeless. And I remember being in the house, because this is drawn from the perspective of being in the house where we're on lockdown, things are dark. Though we got a few things. There's power, the refrigerator's on, a couple candles. We're huddled up, reading, praying, okay, telling jokes and stories, but not too loud. But we do have somebody watching, and I'm the guy looking out the window watching, and it's like we got a little beside ourselves, and somebody happened to come by. This guy right here with the stick happens to come by, which I believe is a stick. Could have been a sword. I don't know what it was. Could be a cane. I don't know. It's like he can sense that we're in there, like he heard us or something. And I was like, damn. And he's looking to see, like, this might be the house to try to get into. But I had the house pretty much locked in, locked up, and secured. But hey, it can be got into, and there's just random people walking around. There's a whole lot of people just wandering, and we were kind of on the outskirts. But as you look back to the city, there was a little bit of light in that city back there, and it was worse there. Okay? It was worse in the city, in the main part of the city, not on the outskirts of the houses where we were at, looking out into it. And that's was kind of what the vision and the dream was about. Okay? So you got to understand that this is something that's coming, and we're being prepared for it, and you have to be aware of this. All right? I think I got a few more. Okay, so as I was saying, to make drunk, intoxicate, you can be not on 144. You could be on your P's and Q's, but you can have your guard down even in righteousness. Though you understand what's coming, you may think I'm super Israelite and I got, this and that. But no, that's you don't want to be that way or the other way, where you're completely unaware, like the 2/3 and most people will be. Some of the 2/3 are prepared, but they don't believe. Some of the 2/3 are in the truth, and they're gonna fall to this. Okay. So being level-headed and level-minded, understanding the situation we're in. Back in 2 Ezra 16th chapter, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. That's coming against those that believe. So you can't be too high up in the mind thinking nothing can touch you because you believe in Yahweh Shemel Shai. And I can pray and I can call on him and he gonna answer. That ain't how this automatically works. That ain't how this automatically works. You gotta be locked in to when he shows you the way out, you gotta be able to move that way. It don't mean that he gonna just automatically let you teleport. He may tell you to leave that house and be somewhere else. And if you, but we got power over here, the generators here, and they got this and that, and when I leave, the family's gonna break up and or whatever else. But that may be the situation. Okay, that may be the situation. So you gotta be prepared to move when the Spirit say move. Okay. It says, they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. This is part of the trial. We got to prove that we can follow the Spirit and be locked in. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. That don't mean it's going to be smooth. That don't mean you're not going to get cut up or shot or have to wrestle to the death or whatever the case may be, man. We don't know how this is going to play out, but we can see it. Some brothers have dreams and testimonies, some situations, are here to edify, man, to build you, to get you to understand that this ain't just going to be a cakewalk just because you may be of the elect. It don't mean just because you're of the elect don't mean it's going to be a cakewalk. Okay? You still got to fight, scratch, and do all the things necessary. You still got to be tried on whatever level you are. You got to be tried on that level. Okay? It said, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide. Okay, got to stay locked in. Let's see what else we got. Matthew 5:12, I'll start up at 10. It said, blessed are ye for which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you and say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets that were before you. It's a rites of passage to be in this, man. This ain't just because you got the revelation and just because we got the testimony don't mean everybody gonna love the message. They didn't love it when Yahweh Shai walked and was doing miracles in that time. They didn't love it then. They still delivered him up to be killed. And the servant's not greater than his master, so we got to go through it as well. Okay? Yeah, and I just want to bring this in Acts 12. I'll start up. Acts 12:1. Now, about that time, Herod, the king, stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church. Okay? To agitate the church. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. Okay, and because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter. Then were the days of unleavened bread. So this is what's going on. It pleased our people, so this is what they do. Now let me show you what happened to the men of the Lord. Okay, deaths of the 12 apostles. Okay, shows you what happened to them. Peter, it says crucified upside down. Andrew crucified, an X-shaped cross. James crucified. I'm not sure what happened on that one that was crossed out or why, but my brother sent this. I'm rolling with it. Matthew killed by a halberd, right? Thomas slain by a spear. Bartholomew skinned alive. Philip crucified. Matthias beheaded. Simon sawn in half. Thaddeus killed with arrows. James, son of Alphaeus, stoned to death. Okay, and they tried to kill John the Revelator. Okay, they tried to kill him. They tried to boil him. They tried all types of things to get him. Okay, but he had to live to put forth the prophecy of Revelation. Okay, so all these things, don't think that this is just something that we skate by. Yeah, not everybody will see death, as it says in 1 Corinthians the 15th chapter. Okay, not all will sleep, but they will be changed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. Okay, but that don't mean that that's you. And what that means is every last one of us, let that be a warning to us. I forgot how the elder brother worded his video. damn, that we gotta be on, that we gotta be on our P's and Q's. Let me look, man, because I don't want to get this wrong. I want to make sure it's on point. All right, be circumspect, be not complacent. Okay, don't be in there la da 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 da. Nah, man, ain't no la da 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 no more, man. If you been in that la da da, ain't paying attention, hey man, wake the hell up. Hold post, look all the way down the street, see anything moving. Brothers should see when birds land and what they're eating. Brothers should see when car alarms go off. Everything, every movement, every sound on the street. When brothers teaching should be identified. Even if it ain't acknowledged, it should be identified. Okay, so when things are out of place, you can recognize that. Even if you can't see with your natural eye, you might see with your third spiritual eye. You may see with your ears. Okay? I think that's pretty much it. I might have one or so more. Let me see. Yep, I'll get this one. Let me back out of this real quick. See if there was anything to be drunken. We got one more, Romans 13 and 11. We were warned, man, that this is the closest time for us to get out of this, man, but it's going to be trouble. Trouble. Inside joke. Anyway, Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. Okay? It was nice when we can spend our time just putting our head down in the book and reading, going about our day on autopilot, but be alive in the spirit, going to camp, going to the live show, doing all the things, just kind of got the audio. I don't even really have the videos playing in the car like that, because my car can get a little loud, so I don't really necessarily have it playing like that. Sometimes I do, depending on where I'm driving, but if I'm in a neighborhood and I'm sitting around in a parking lot, I don't really be having it like that. I'd rather throw it in the headphones if I'm doing that type of thing, or just kind of have it on the phone where it's just where I'm at, and those in my immediately around me, and I'm usually alone in that situation. If I'm at the house, that's something different. I play it, and if the neighbors hear it, so be it. I hope you hear it. But other than that, and that still doesn't necessarily make it wise, because we don't know what's going to be on these people in that day. All right, they may give you up, but whatever. That's something different. But being out in public where people could just run up and just do whatever, man, I'm too locked in. That's why I don't even listen to lyrics like that, like songs with words. I'm rarely on songs with words because my mind is moving and thinking and so fast. I don't need any distractions. The music and the beat sometimes is more than enough, but I kind of concentrate a little bit better with that. Anyway, Romans 13 and 11, and that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and put on the armor of light. And the brother went into that armor in his video. We got to be shot with all these things, man. Okay, we got to put that armor on. Okay? And be mostly in the spirit and understand what the prophecy and the will of the Most High truly is. Okay? I think I got one last one. I'll close out. Well, matter of fact, before I go, let me read this. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and in drunkenness. Okay, you can't be caught up in certain situations. I saw a video. It's a lot of so-called churchgoers and Christians all over the internet now. But sometimes they'll read something and they'll even break it down pretty good, but it doesn't warrant a video or to break it down differently. But then you see something and it may tap back in. But one of the videos I saw said this. He said, when do people mostly sin? He said, because it's the moment when you step away, wanting something like entertainment or to feel good or to have a drink. When you step out of where you should be is when you really get caught up, where the devil can creep in and get you. Okay, that's mostly where you get caught at. When you try to step out of what you should be doing and step into an arena just for some entertainment to have a good time. Not to say you can't do that. Yeah, you can go to the movies, you can go to the bar, have a drink. No, what the timing and the rhythm is, though. You can even go to the club if you really want to, but for me, the club's out. Everything that I need out the club, I know where to get those things from. Everything I'm pursuing, and believe me, if I'm not pursuing a woman, if I'm really, man, I'm not even going to go there, but if I'm pursuing a woman, I'm not going to the club to pursue a woman. Even if it's a woman for the night, I'm still not going to pursue her there. I probably won't even pursue her in a bar. You know? There's other places that you can find somebody that can fulfill the situation for you. And I'm just saying it that way. But really, this ain't the time to be in that, man. You know, they got deadly viruses popping off and shit, you know. And you having sexes. Man, it's crazy out here. Okay? So this is the time that we're living in. This is the time we got to be locked in and watching and occupied in prophecy. Okay? And so you can redeem the time and seeing where we at. Okay, is it cool that I still do this? Is it cool that I still do that? Instead of just being out, walking around on Fremont Street amongst demons, up and down the strip, you know, in and out of clubs and bars and bar hopping and shit. That shit, it ain't like that. There might be a moment or two where you can get down and do things like that, but really, just being out there like that, you know, every week I'm out there in the club. Every week I'm out there drinking heavily, and then I got to kind of drive home. And man, hell no, man, I'm not doing that. Okay? That's not in the spirit no more. Okay, for brothers that were ever into that. You know, and I've had a good time. And, you know, you doing something in the spirit, have a good night. You know, you have a feast day or something. Brothers is at the house, you know, doing their thing at the feast, and they whatever else, and they move on. They had a drink. But brothers know, hey, how y'all feeling? Y'all good? Everybody good to drive? All right. At the table, you know, brothers having, or at the bar, wherever we at, you know, doing our thing. Hey, bro, you good? Okay, hey, you know, you straight, you know, you driving, or what you gonna do? You want to ride? Being responsible for our brother, being our brother's keeper. All right, last script, because we know prophecy, and these are all scattered around, but because we know prophecy, we understand that this has to come. Okay, Revelation 6 verse 4, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given him a great sword. Okay? And this red horse is going to play out on the earth with E, man. E is that red horse. He's out there getting it, trying to fulfill his agenda. He will use whatever he can. And I named all the little list of different levels of his sword. We know the ultimate sword is those missiles, but he's going to use everything from here on onto the physical iron edge, to witchcraft, to science. He's going to use everything. Okay, and it's already been done. He's opening up portals and all types of other things already. Okay, and it's all against you. And because we have a defense, the rest of our people and other people of the world don't necessarily have that defense. Okay, so the people you driving next to on the road, it's like when you watched Matrix Reloaded, the part 2 for, you know, Matrix. All of a sudden he's driving next to a truck, and they're on a motorcycle, whatever, driving next to a truck, and all of a sudden the agent transforms into the man, the truck driver, and now he tried to run them off the road. Okay, this is how things play out, man. Nowadays, this is the level. The game done leveled up. The heat done got turned up another notch. Okay, this is what's on the table. I could walk into the gym or walk into this grocery store or wherever, somewhere in the library, and something just sparks on somebody, you know, and now they own you. We know Edomites are that natural conduit, but all the sin and wickedness on Jake, and all the chemicals and stuff that's in our people, and they're instant conduits as well for spirits and evils and demons. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I think there was one more. Yeah, I know the one. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay, so a lot of, and you even go to Romans 13. A lot of these people are gonna get judged because they're here to get judged, and they're gonna get judged through E. That don't mean E ain't gonna try you. Okay, and another something. Let me go right here, Psalm 34, just to make a quick point. Then I'll close on it. It says, Psalm 34 and 7, the angel of the Lord encampeth around them that fear him, and delivereth them. Okay, we know the Lord encamps, has the angels encamped around us, right? That doesn't mean that the angel's there to block the knife blows or the knife, to move your hands to it. That don't mean that that's the situation. He may be there just to whisper the instruction for what you to do. Okay? And if you're not in tune with what you should be doing, it can go bad and go wrong. This goes for me, as well as all of us. Okay? We don't know. Okay, but what we do know is we got to be locked into the spirit, and we know the angels are there, and we got to be tuned in to be able to hear those things and be locked in with that. Okay? This is a spiritual war, but it will play out in the flesh. Okay? And if you're not prepared spiritually, it doesn't matter what you do physically. Okay? So I'm going to end it there, man. Lord willing, this was edifying. Check those brothers' videos out. Okay? And I'm sure other brothers do other responses and tap into that, the idea of all of this. Okay? We can't be carnally minded walking around with pistols in the room. Nah, man, that ain't what we do. That ain't what this is about. Okay? Not to say that you can't have one legally, not to say that whatever your situation is, the Spirit moves you to do it, hey, that's on you. Live and stand on that. Okay, with faith. Okay, but at the same time, we understand that this ain't, for the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High. So we're not to be carnal minded. We got to be spiritually minded with all things. Okay, so I'm in it there. Lord, what is edifying, giving all praise and glories unto Yahweh, Bashim Yashai, Bashim Rachak Wadash, double honor to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, greetings, salutation, blessings, much love unto you, hopeful elect. To the next one, stay circumspect. Shalom.